The ports of Northern Ireland are a lifeline to its economy, and the transport industry is under real pressure due to the lack of procedural information around the framework document. All but a small amount of goods arrive and depart via HGVs and the sea. And within the last few weeks, some Northern Ireland containers have been stopped in Britain and customs documents are being requested. John Martin of the Road Hauliers Association is frustrated by the lack of clarity.
If there's product moving from Northern Ireland, the government probably wants to see if it's Northern Irish product or EU product. So it would appear that they want to assess the goods to see if they're Northern Irish or EU. We've been lobbying government from day one, asking them how they're going to manage EU product coming through Northern Ireland to GB, and they've refused to answer the question.
Lord Kane says that the framework document creates unfettered access between Northern Ireland and Britain.
But I'm very clear that the Windsor framework enshrines unfettered access for goods travelling from Northern Ireland into Great Britain, and indeed the UK Internal Market Act enshrines in law unfettered access from NI to GB.
Jim Allister is a unionist politician, but also a KC, and believes that under the framework, a border between Northern Ireland and Great Britain can't be avoided.
Because Northern Ireland is prohibited from having any checks on goods coming from the Republic, and that's what Article 5.5 of the Protocol expressly says. You cannot check quantitatively goods coming from the EU into Northern Ireland. The only place you then can check them, if you want to protect the rest of the UK market from being flooded, is in GB, and thereby you build not just the Irish Sea border for goods from GB to Northern Ireland, but you build it effectively in GB for goods coming from within Northern Ireland to GB. It is a preposterous situation.
It now appears that there are problems both ways, and Peter Burke, the Republic of Ireland's Minister for European Affairs, insists there is clear guidance.
Well, it depends on the type of goods. There's a very clear chart of different types of goods that need paperwork, and there's goods that obviously are more higher risk than others, but the framework provides the pathway for any issues that come forward in relation to the passage of goods over and back from the EU or the UK.
Small retailers will face the largest problems, especially on stock levels. Northern Ireland's supply chain is known as just in time. The very size of the population here means that cold storage for long periods of time is not financially viable. Plans are now well underway to bypass Britain and go directly to the EU to avoid the issues with labelling and green and red lanes. And this will push up prices and is causing political problems. Both the Secretary of State and MP Sammy Wilson seem to be on totally different pages.
The Windsor framework was agreed, and therefore, as night follows day, the executive should be up and running. But anybody that knows Northern Ireland politics knew it was going to take some time.
What it does show is that all of the promises made by the Prime Minister in the House of Commons were simply a tissue of lies. In effect, he said this would do away with any border in the Irish Sea. The border in the Irish Sea is reinforced. He said that it would sort out the problems of the protocol and economic life in Northern Ireland could be restored and we could be part of the UK single market. The barriers are higher. And what amazes me is that there's an intolerance in the House of Commons to Prime Ministers telling lies, as we saw with the treatment of Boris Johnson. These are the biggest set of lies that one could possibly have told to the House of Commons, yet there's some lies appear to be acceptable because nobody wants to scrutinise and dig down deep as to the actual effect of the Windsor framework.
Dougie Beattie, GB News, Belfast.